Hello guys, this is Mohan and today we'll go with new topic that is new chapter that is demand and law of demand. Okay. Firstly, we'll know the meaning of demand. Demand for any commodity means a amount of commodity that the consumer is willing to purchase at a particular price during a particular period of time. That is referred as demand. Okay. And in demand, you must include three things in the meaning of demand. Okay. First thing that you are required to include is period of time, particular period of time. You must include that. And second one that you will include is particular price. And then third one that is willing to purchase or effective desire, willing to purchase as well as ability to purchase. Now we'll go with determinants or factors of demands. What stimulate demand? First one is price of the commodity. Price of the commodity stimulate the demand, or it defines the demand of a particular commodity, because the price is going to take charge of the decision of every consumer, because we all first look at into a price before we demand for any commodities. Like when the price is low, the demand for that commodity will be high, and if the price is high, then the demand will be less, because we don't prefer a good which is of high price. That's all for price of a commodity. And then now we have second one, that is income of the consumer. Income of the consumer is going to determine the quantity demanded of a product. That is, purchasing power of individual consumer is going to determine the quantity demanded of the commodity. Like when the income is low, the demand is going to be low, and then when the income is high, then the demand of the commodity is going to be more, because when the consumer have a more purchasing power, then the income will be demand will be more. And it is of three type. Okay, first one is normal goods. Normal goods are those goods the demand for which will increase with the increase in the income of a consumer and decrease with the fall in income. That is direct relationship. Okay, that one is normal good that we consume in a daily life. And second one is inferior good. Inferior means we have inferior and superior good, like rice and maize. Maize is inferior and rice is superior. Likewise, inferior good are those good the demand for which will fall with the increase in the income of a consumer and increase with the fall in the income of a consumer. Those are inferior good. And third one is inexpensive good of necessities. Necessities like salt, matches, matchbox, those are the inexpensive good of necessities. Inexpensive good of necessities are those good which the demand will increase with the increase in the income, but only up to some extent. It will increase but only up to some extent. From certain level it will remain constant. Okay, from certain level it will increase, but from certain level the consumption will be constant. Like salt will not increase the consumption of salt if consumers income increases. Now third determinant consumers taste and preference. Individual is having different interests, taste and preference, and by those preference demand is also determined. Okay, the consumers taste, preference, interest is going to determine the quantity demanded. That's all for consumers taste and preference. Now we'll see next one. Okay, let's wait. Next one, now price of related good. Price of related good basically has two type. Okay, the related good, interrelated good. Like first one is substitute good. Substitute goods are those goods which can be substituted or replaced or can be used in place of one another. In order to understand substitute good, we will take example tea and coffee. Okay, if the price of the tea is more, then the demand for coffee will be high because the consumer will not prefer tea. Likewise, if the uh, price of the coffee is more, then the demand for tea will be more and coffee will be less because the consumer will prefer tea because the substitute good, that is coffee, is having a more price. That is how the price of substitute good is going to determine the demand. And next one is complementary good. Complementary good are those good which are consumed together or jointly consumed. These two good will go together. We'll take in order to understand complementary good, we'll take car and then petrol. Okay, now the car alone can't move, we need petrol, and petrol alone can't move, we need car. That's how they are jointly consumed. And if the petrol's price is high, the car's demand will be less because we need to pay more petrol in order to run the car. That's how the demand for car is determined by the petrol's price. Okay, that's how the complementary good uh, affect the demand of one another. Okay, that's all for complementary good. We need to understand they are jointly consumed. Okay, and then it affect the demand of each other. And then fifth one is consumers expectation. Consumers expectation, like what consumer expect is going to determine a demand. Okay, like consumers expectation regarding future price, availability of goods, and their own income is going to determine a demand. Like if consumer expect a future price to increase, then he or she will demand more in current price to avoid to pay high price in future. That's how the demand is going to be determined. It applying same to the availability of good as well as uh, income of the individual consumer. Okay, and then now those were the top 5 determining. And likewise in the sixth we have consumers credit facilities. Credit facilities like loan. If the consumer is having a good credit facilities, then the demand is going to be more because the consumer have credit facility to demand more goods. And size and composition of population. Size and composition of population is also going to affect the demand because if there is larger size, then the demand is going to be more. If there is small size, then the demand is going to be less. And then eighth one is distribution of income. Distribution of income, like equally distributed or inequally distributed. Like in case of equally distributed, then the demand will be for mostly necessities good. Okay, and then if it is unequally distributed, then the consumer's demand will be for only luxurious good. Okay, ninth one is government policy. Government policy is also going to determine the demand. Like if government impose more taxes, then the consumer is going to demand less because price is going to be high. Okay, likewise such policies is going to determine a demand. Okay, and 10th one is fashion or seasonal factors. Like fashion, like if the particular good is at peak fashion, then the demand for that particular good will be high. And if it is out of fashion or out of date, then the demand for those good will be less. And like seasonal factor, like in case of summer, the umbrella are more demanded. Like in case of winter, then the winter clothes are more demanded. Those are the seasonal factor. That's how the seasonal factor is going to affect the demand. Okay, that's all. If you guys are having a doubt, please repeat the same video because at first time you will be not able to grab all the information. And if you have any queries, please Do let me know in the comment section. And thank you for watching, and please do subscribe, like and share, and please don't forget to comment.